Well, welcome back to Mr. Obsolete's Vintage Homesteading. Today's exciting video is going to be about fire starters. Well, we heat with wood, like many people do. So, we have a motto, use what you have. So, what we need for fire starters, need some old egg cartons, need some sawdust. Dry sawdust is best, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. And we need candles, a ladle, a pair of pliers, and some lint from the dryer. So what we do, take these, fill them up with sawdust, and then I like to clean in between them a little bit like this. Tamp it down. And we've melted the wax already. And you can see when I talk about how hobbies and things are interspersed with one another. Well, we just happen to be using our 1967 Coleman number 502 stove to melt the wax here. You can see it's all nicely melted there. This thing's really efficient. Heats it and melts it really quickly. So anyway, put our safety gear on here. That stuff is really hot. You don't want to get it splashed on you anywhere. Now on the sawdust, you can use fresh wet sawdust, but it's best if you use dry like I have here, because if it's wet, when you pour the wax on, it evaporates the water out of it and steams up. And still works fine, but it's a lot better this way. So we just start pouring this in. You don't see any steam rising off this because it's nice and dry. And there's a couple of different ways that we make fire starters. This one's the one I like best, but the problem is these days trying to find junk wax. You used to could find it everywhere, and it's not the case so much anymore. But I'll do a different video on that when we get around to it. So there we go. It just needs to sit and cool off. Again, just fill it up. Like I say, I like to tap it down to make it more solid so we get better heat and better burn time out of them that way. Clean that between here. So this is just a real nice, quick, easy way to make fire starters. Because the wax burns really hot, it really makes a fire quick, and we'll show you that after we get done here making these. So the next thing we need to do, make some lint here and make little pads of them. Kind of clumping down a little bit there. We'll take our pliers and dip this in a hot wax here. Like that. Just put one on top of each section there. And mash them down. If you leave a little piece sticking up like that and it's saturated with the wax, makes them burn really quick and light really easily. pretty darn cold out here, so this wax is getting hard pretty darn quick. But anyway, you can see it sticks to your gloves real nice there. And I think it's about 42 degrees today. This is the first nice weather we've had. It's been pouring rain and freezing pretty hard here lately, pretty much. So anyway, I'll go ahead and continue to do these, and when we're done and these are ready to use, and we'll come back and show you, and I'll time it to show you how quick these things start a nice fire. Okay, well, we're going to show you how quick and efficient these fire starters work. Open the stove. First thing we want to do is put in a piece of wood like this, and you want it sitting so it's high like this. Put our fire starter in here. And just put some kindling on top of that. You want really super dry kindling. This stuff here is some old shelving that Mr. C gave us. It's pretty rotten, but it's perfect for kindling. Okay, so there you can see. We're going to time this to see how quick this thing lights here. Okay, well, we'll be back when it's burning better. Light that kindling off pretty quickly. Okay, well, we're 60 seconds in, and look, we got a nice fire going already. So, then if you look at the top of the stove here, these have been really, really nice. These are little fans, and they operate from heat. The heat generates electricity, and there's a motor in here, and it spins and distributes the heat all over through the house here, really nice. And then we have a ceiling fan above, so between the two of them, that spreads the heat through the house. So anyway, there you go. I'll put a little bigger piece of wood on top there here to get the fire going really good. So there you go. Mr. Obsolete's fire starters work super good. Okay, well, we're 15 minutes in, so 10 minutes we had a really nice good fire going. In 15 minutes our little fans are running. I'm going to have them in different directions, different towards the bedrooms and then out into the living room here, but these are really, really neat. And there's cheap ones out there and there's expensive ones, and the back one here is a cheap one. It's done pretty good, but these are by the company that invented them and put them on the market, and they're more expensive. They're about $120, but they really spread the heat out through the house. It's really, really nice. So there you go. Fire starters work great, and another upcoming video I'll show the different styles that I use. So there you go. Well, for the second part of our video, we're going to put a brand new bar 24-inch Samura on Mr. Cheesy, our Stihl 034. And of course we got a brand new Oregon chain that I just made for it. But I'm going to talk about how to break it in. And so the first thing we're going to do is lubricate the bar and the chain. And what I use is motorcycle chain lube. Stuff I like using is this PJ1 black label. I've been using this on my dirt bikes and everything for years. This is superb stuff. So anyway, what we're going to do, I'm going to put it in the rail here. Why I use chain lube is it goes on as a light oil, and after a few minutes it sets up into a light grease. It has graphite and a bunch of other really good lubricating stuff in it. One thing that was kind of interesting too is that when I got my Stihl 031, it didn't have a bar and chain on it, so I bought a new Stihl Roll-O-Matic. And the thing that was amazing is that it does have a greasable tip like this one. With those cheap jerks, that Stihl didn't even put any grease in it. I went to put some grease in this, and it's pre-lubed at the factory. Got a nice drag to it. But can you imagine that, paying top dollar for a Roll-O-Matic and too cheap to put grease in it? So anyway, get the chain done here next. Nice thing about this type of oil, like I say, or grease, turns into grease, it saturates the pins and the rollers in the chain. So anyway, we'll let this set up for about 5 minutes and be right back. Okay, well, we got the bar and the chain back on, and so what I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust it so it runs a little bit loose. This is a little bit too loose. And so anyway, this has this nice quick adjust here. It's one thing I like about this saw. So, tighten it up. And a couple of videos I did on this thing and talked about how hard starting this thing is. Since I've gone through the fuel system, it's better, but the drawback to it's got lots of compression and no compression release. So anyway, I was watching a video from this gal that has a power equipment shop called Chicanic. She talked about hard starting saws like these, and what she does just puts a lever in the run position and pulls the thing through slowly 2 or 3 times and then set it up to start, and makes them start a lot easier. I was surprised. So anyway, can always learn something new. So anyway, be right back. Okay, once it starts, I'm just going to run it, spin the throttle up and down and let the chain kind of seat in. Run it for a little bit and shut off and probably retighten the chain. But what my plan is, since I got this longer bar on, which I really like, I don't have to stoop over so much. An upcoming video, we're going to be out on the corner of the property there, where we've got lots of branches and stuff we took down the last year or two, and have a nice bonfire. So see how this thing starts. See that thing loosened up already? Anyway, that's what we're going to do, is tighten it up again and run it some more, but you get the idea. So, be interesting with this new bar. They're supposed to be top quality bars, and It's nice and light too. So we'll see you on the next exciting vintage video.